A substitute teacher says he plans to sue his school district after he was indefinitely suspended over a social media post about Charlie Kirk. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Phil Lipoff. He made that post on his personal page shortly after Kirk's assassination, but after he got a First Amendment attorney, he got his job back. 9 News investigative reporter Jeremy Hohola is diving into the lawsuit. Jeremy.
Yeah, that's right. Chris Sutton has always been critical of the Pueblo County School District 70, where he also works as a substitute teacher. He says he made a post critical of Charlie Kirk after he was killed. Then he says people like local politicians who demanded his firing retaliated against him. Sutton posted this message on his personal page about Charlie Kirk, who was killed right around the time his grandfather died. He didn't have a good relationship with his grandfather, he tells us. Pretending that everyone deserves to be mourned is dumb as expletive. Sometimes the world becomes a better place. If I find relief in the passing of my own relative, then why the expletive would I need to grieve a propagandist that worked to make the world a more dangerous place? After his post was shared in conservative Facebook groups, about 8 people wrote to the district and demanded his termination. Some people wrote they wouldn't vote for more funding for the school district if it didn't fire him. Sutton was then suspended in September, but his attorneys wrote a letter to the district saying that they violated his First Amendment rights. Then he got his job back just earlier this month.
I said something on Facebook and you're going to retaliate against me. No staff member, no teacher should be afraid of having a voice. Very specifically, you asked me if I'm planning on suing. Yes, I'm suing, not because I'm looking to make money or get rich, but because of the fact that the district and other school districts need to remember that their staff members and teachers are citizens as well.
Meanwhile, the school district in Pueblo confirmed to us Sutton was removed as a substitute, but then reinstated this month. The district would not comment beyond that because of personnel matters, they say. Back to you, Kim.
Okay, this is a story I guess we kind of got lost in for a while, and maybe because it's in Pueblo, Jeremy. This is kind of the first time I've heard about it.
Yeah, this one didn't really pop up here in Denver, but it really circulated around there in Pueblo, and it caused quite a stir.
And we've heard of many people losing their jobs after that murder in particular, so it's very timely to hear this. All right, thank you.
All right, we're going to turn now to the weather. Much of Colorado is still dealing with windy conditions. That's a beautiful picture, though. The wind combined with the unusually warm December temperatures we've been having have elevated our fire danger, which we need to keep a pretty close eye on. The National Weather Service issuing red flag warnings for parts of the state.
Yeah, Kathy, it's kind of concerning. You hear those wind gusts, they come and they go, and then you look outside and you're like, there's no snow. Nothing.
Yes, and temperatures, we were close to 70 today. You have the warm weather for a prolonged period of time. The humidity values 10 to 15%, and the wind and elevated fire danger, something we're talking about in Denver in December in one of our snowier months. But it's also something we tend to talk about every month out of the year these days with the way the climate change and things are changing globally. So yeah, we have not a lot of snow in the high country right now, but a better day getting into the mountains. So that's some good news. The wind is easing along the front range, but still gusty at DIA with about 800 flight delays today and still extremely gusty for two hands on the wheel. Those high profile vehicles are dealing with gusts of 50 up around Buckeye and 65 miles per hour over Loveland Pass. Red flag warning for high fire danger continues. Denver included through 5 o'clock. It may be extended out or reinstated again tomorrow. Current temperatures, we're 64 degrees in Denver. That is 20 degrees warmer than average. And we're watching this northwest flow come in over the top of this big ridge of high pressure. But notice the storm track and all the appreciable moisture is outside our forecast area, not coming to Colorado where we need it. So we'll have a little less cloud cover tonight, a few more clouds drifting in tomorrow, but this warm, dry weather trend is going to take us right into the weekend. So this evening, we drop into the 50s by about 8, 9 o'clock, and the weather headlines include a look ahead to the weekend with a big football game on Sunday. The Packers are coming to town. Details on all of that in just a bit.
May the wind only blow against them. All right, thank you, Kathy. Loveland police say that 2 victims of the hammer attack Tuesday night are out of the hospital. Police say 20-year-old Kyle Behrens hit a hammer and a knife when he walked into a Loveland tanning salon. Police say he hit a 21-year-old employee in the head more than a dozen times. The employee then ran into another room where a customer was hiding. They say that's when police pulled the victim out with a knife and tried to stab them. Behrens remains in custody on a $500,000 bond. The tanning salon is temporarily closed as well.
Police are investigating a deadly crash in Lakewood that happened this morning. Happened near South Kipling Parkway and West Jewel Avenue. This is right by Kendrick Lake Park. Police say this was not a hit-and-run crash. An investigation into the cause is still underway. Hudson Fire Protection District has a new addition. For the first time, the department was able to purchase its own ambulances.
Yeah, this comes after decades of relying on third-party emergency services. 9 News reporter Janelle Finch joins us now with a look at the new tools that they're getting. About time.
Yes, exactly. Hudson Fire Protection District says in 1 month of ambulance service, they've been able to bring paramedics to more than 200 calls within minutes.
Seizure.
When lives are on the line, minutes matter. For Hudson Fire Protection District, time was of the essence in another way.
Yes, absolutely.
Chief Ken Gabrielson says Intermountain Health didn't renew its contract with the department due to personnel issues.
They had an ambulance in one of our fire stations. They removed the ambulance.
Hudson Fire says it relied on third-party ambulance services for decades. This incoming change prompted Gabrielson to propose a mill levy to voters. If it passed, the department could buy its very own ambulances. It did.
You can actually access this from the inside too, but this is kind of where we keep all of our equipment. So
HFPD brought its first ambulance into service last month.
Ambulance 901.
The district says the ambulances plus equipment inside can cost up to $500,000 each.
that's your heart rate, so we can take a look at how people's heart's doing.
But Gabrielson says the investment is worth decreased response times.
That's a huge benefit for the citizens.
Gabrielson says another ambulance is set to come into service early 2026. Before then, they're hoping to hire 7 new paramedics with money from the levy.
They're managed by the fire department. They're incorporated into the fire department. They become part of that fire department team.
Gabrielson says when it comes to saving lives, doing it faster will always be better.
You're going to get a top-notch quality EMS program at your house sooner than it ever has been.
The department hopes to bring its second unit online in February. They're also looking to add a third ambulance on reserve around that time too. Janelle Finch, 9 News.
That's a great thing for everybody who lives in that area. As you point out, faster is better when it comes to health.
Yes, absolutely. And actually, I'll just add that they are also doing for residents in that area that they aren't going to have to pay additionally for those ambulance services. They will charge to their insurance or their Medicare, but residents won't have to pay out of pocket for ambulance fees. It's big.
Even better. Janelle, thank you. The Trump administration is planning to seize the oil aboard the tanker U.S. forces captured near Venezuela yesterday. The White House says the vessel is associated with Iran's most powerful military group and that the tanker is tied to black market oil activity. The tanker is currently undergoing forfeiture process. That includes interviews with all those on board. President Trump didn't provide many more details on why the tanker was taken. It does come, though, as tensions escalate between Venezuela and the U.S. over targeted strikes against suspected drug vessels.
The Indiana State Senate voted down a plan to redraw the state's congressional districts. The vote saw 21 Republicans join 10 Democrats in voting down the proposed map that would give the GOP 2 more seats. The move rejects President Donald Trump's months-long campaign to pressure Republicans to redraw their maps. The president is looking to shore up the party's lead in the U.S. House ahead of next year's midterms. Several blue and red states have been going back and forth over redistricting. Colorado Democratic Attorney General Phil Weiser and Democratic Senator Michael Bennet have also called on Colorado to do the same. Both are running for governor. Colorado State may have its new head coach in Jim Mora, but Jay Norvell isn't really out of the picture just yet.
CSU fired Norvell, as you know, midway through the season, and now we are learning a bit more about that payout we told you about. CSU pulled the plug on Norvell October 19th after the Rams' slow start to the season. He's owed about $1.5 million in a buyout. So far, he hasn't gotten any of that money. According to records we've obtained, Norvell has gotten just $107,000 of that $1.5 million buyout. According to his contract, CSU doesn't have to pay it in one lump sum. And CSU could get out of paying the remaining money altogether if he gets a new job that pays more than what the Rams owe by the end of the year.